We're in the hump day of our 7 days of 1911s, and I couldn't think of a better day to cover my Armand Swenson worked over Colt Series 70. This is a gun that I got from a great friend of mine, Griff, and I've since had my buddy Logan do a lot of work to it. If you don't know who Armand Swenson is, just get on the Google machine, or check out the 2 videos I've already done on this gun previously here on the channel. The long and the short is that he's kind of like the godfather of a lot of modern 1911 components and techniques for working on these guns. And this gun was done in the early 80s, so it has some of his more kind of later things. It wasn't a full custom job, as Armand really only worked on the slide. This gun began as a standard GI 45. This was actually a 1970 produced Series 70 gun, so the first year of Series 70 guns. But Armand installed a K-frame rear sight. We have the customer's initial here on the rear sight leaf, and then part of what would have been a barrel positioner, albeit that this Barstow barrel that Armand fitted doesn't need that positioner for, good accuracy. So Barstow barrel, which is dated 1979. The bushing here is a very beefy, very tight bushing, and then we have a custom front sight to match up properly with our rear sight. From that, the rest of the frame was kind of left untouched by Armand, the best we can see. The customer's name, their last name, Burnett, is electro-penciled here in the dust cover of the frame, which matches up with the last name initial here on the 2 discs that Armand, pinned into the slide. So I know this is an Armand gun. I've even compared the handwriting here to other Swenson guns I've looked at, and I know he worked on it. The thing is that Swenson guns demand quite a bit of money, but this is a sentimental gun for me. This is one that I'm never ever planning on getting rid of, which meant that I was okay with modifying the frame to make it better in the hand. As someone who shoots a lot, things that jive with me jive well, and things that don't really don't. When it comes to 1911s, the GI frame doesn't work for me. This gun had a GI style grip safety, but then the GI frame tangs that are longer. This scar I have here is from shooting this gun before we cut up the back of the frame to make it a beaver-tailed gun. So that was one of the big things we wanted to do. For the work we did to it, though, it was a lot more than just the beaver tail. We resprung the entire gun. We have a titanium firing pin to make it drop safe. We have a tighter firing pin stop to both help out a little bit with the perceived recoil, but just to be a beefier part. New extractor that we properly tensioned, new recoil spring, new mainspring. We have a Wilson Combat slide stop. We had to do a little bit of work on the plunger tube. I know that we replaced the pins in the spring, but we may have also restaked it. This gun's old enough that things start to come loose with years and years of shooting and recoil. Stand chin, short thumb safety. We have a Wilson Combat hammer, Caspian grip safety that my buddy Logan cut the frame for and then modified the grip safety from kind of like a speed hump in the middle. It wasn't like a traditional... let me grab one of the guns over here. It wasn't like a more modern speed hump, but like a ridge in the middle. So he modified that to have that more classic look. And then he duck-billed it so it has that very old school feel. We have an EGW 25 LPI checkered arch mainspring housing. I prefer how these feel in the hand, and it looks classic for the gun. Wood caliber stocks, which are very high quality, albeit that $80 for wood for this gun felt kind of stupid, but it looks good. Skateboard tape on the front because it gives you a lot more texture to really grip the pistol. And then a Harrison trigger here. We didn't try to re-bevel the frame. It already has that factory bevel and it works fine enough. We did rust blue the grip safety and part of the frame after we worked on it because we wanted to try to do that. We didn't want to do the entire gun, just certain parts, because I want to keep that worn finish, because most of the wear on this pistol comes from people at some point carrying it, right? The wear through here is very much indicative of having a leather holster and the gun in a leather holster. We have edge wear from where the gun was going in and out of leather, so I like that look there. I will say I'm not a fan of the idiot scratches on the gun, but when you buy used 1911s, they generally have idiot scratches, so it is what it is. I don't think my buddy Griff did that, but somebody sure did that. But yeah, this is the Armand Swenson worked over Colt Series 70. It's a fun gun to shoot. I will say that it's not my favorite shooter of the bunch, just because the sights are a little dated for what I like out of a modern pistol. The recoil is quite soft with the recoil assembly and then how tight the gun is. But it's not the one that I'm defaulting to as the one I want to shoot. And it's not that I'm worried about shooting this out or making it, break or something. It's just that I have guns I tend to go for before this one. But this is a very accurate, very fun gun to shoot. I'm actually looking forward to trying shooting this pistol specifically out to 50 yards, kind of like bullseye style. So I'll tag my buddy Jared AF down below in the description because he does a lot of bullseye stuff. And I think this gun would do pretty good for it with how tight it is. Albeit that a gun that you'll see later in the series will probably do better. So, yeah, this is the Swenson gun. Again, I've already done 2 full videos on this pistol and the work that we've done to it. over the years now, and I'll link those down below, but I couldn't not have this in this series. So thank you for watching, and check out tomorrow for the next 1911 video.